Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Hari Om, Pranam, 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 Pranam. Pranam, Pranam, Pranam. We were going through some of the slokas in 6th chapter, which is called Dhyana Yoga or Atma Samyama Yoga. Many things we are only hearing, it will be difficult for us to practice, but some can definitely be tried. Sarvabhudastam atmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. With the heart concentrated by yoga, with the eye of evenness for all things, he or she beholds the self in all beings and all beings in the self. Gently we can say, Sri Krishna is warning us, don't be carried away by any of the concepts. Ultimately, you check up yourself whether slowly we are able to see the common thread in everybody. Very difficult. Because right from the beginning, we have been thinking that I am separate from others. To get over this obsession is no ordinary job. The me and mine is very, very strong. Though it allows us to entertain all these thoughts. Just because it allows us to entertain these thoughts, it doesn't mean that it is allowing us to do it, no? This is very important. That is why immediately after this we forget. So here in this particular sloka, Lord again emphasizes what is the outcome of this. Beautiful. A few more verses are there before you to get Arjuna's question. And in these verses, Sri Krishna takes us through various subjects before Arjuna raises his question. Mind becomes calm and steady. One develops a spirit of equality. One has that kind of tremendous achievement when one becomes one with Brahman. This is described in these few verses as the achievement by the followers of yoga. With the heart concentrated on the yoga, with the eye of evenness for all beings, samatva, samadrashti, one beholds one's self in all things and all things in the self. To see everything in the Atman and Atman in everything, that is the highest vision Vedanta promises to every human being. Sarva bhutastam atmanam, the Atman existing in all beings, sarva bhutani chatmani, all beings existing in the Atman, ikshate, he or she sees this kind of realization, yoga yukadatma, one who has achieved yoga, whose mind has become one in the spirit of yoga, sarvatra samadarshinaha, he or she sees only equality everywhere as the one infinite Atman. There is no high or low, no distinction. The highest democracy comes here. We are perfectly equal with each other because one infinite Atman is present in all beings in its infinite fullness and not in fraction. Samadarshitva, equality of vision is a great teaching throughout the Gita. So having heard this, we are watching ourselves, whether it is developing in us. Whether the mind is becoming broadened. We can take it that this sloga again hammers on the ultimate goal to be scale. Sarvabhutastam Atmanam Sarvabhutani cha Atmani Ikshate Yoga Yukadatma Sarvatra Samadarshina. With the heart centered on yoga. Yoga means union with God. God stands for the subtle and mysterious power, who is within and who is without. So when we open the eyes, whatever we see, normally we have been trained to put a label on each and everything. That is why we are not connecting ourselves to this. When we feel the air, breathe, suddenly what all you have provided, if the air is not there, how will I survive? Oh, Nalinima's assistant has come. ADC. Sarva Bhutatma Atmanam. When we see a tree, we are trying to connect up where from the tree comes. It came from a seed. Where from the seed came? It came from another tree. Where from the tree came? It came from seed. Right? You can go on repeating it. But there must be a first seed, primordial. This we need not talk. So when I close my eyes, I am watching the pulse beat. When I close my eyes, Papa wants us to know how this digestion takes place, how this blood circulation takes place, how this breathing is taking place. So he is there. That power is there. And this power is there in everybody, If I transport myself from this knowledge to an experience, then I will be able to feel. So long as I read it, I understand it, it's a knowledge. But I am not feeling the same in others. Please think over this. Mugging up or reproducing this sloga is not guaranteeing that I will be able to see him. So I must do manana. Nowadays, that is why we draw a lot of inspiration from the Papa's wonderful quotation of go to the origin of your and the world life. Go to the origin of your and the world life. That alone can give us some some clarity about the common factor in all. Then only we can understand this. Sarva bhutastam atmanam. Sarva bhutani cha atmani. Self in all beings and all beings in the self. That we will be able to see only when heart concentrated by union with God, with the eye of evenness for all things. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. I must keep on hammering this to me. When I handle 100, probably at least 2 or 3 I may be able to keep up this. And slowly this 2 and 3 can be increased. So when I recognize the relevance of each and every object, relevance of each and every individual, relevance of each and every situation, dispassionately, non-judgmental. So I am trying to understand the ideal, no? You lost your network connection, trying to reconnect. Okay. So kindly go back to these words again and again and again. You see, those who have got Gita book in your house, you can take it, that 6th chapter, 29th shloka. Sarvabhudastam atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshinaha. So the 2-3 things, I cannot understand any of these. But he gives us some clues. If we are always remembering him, so I must be able to remember him. And then to know that he is there in everybody equally. So dhyana, inward journey, should help us first to get ourselves established in God remembrance. It's a wonderful slogan. Our country needs this teaching more than any other country. We have always had this kind of differential way of looking at things and people. A person gets a little less money or salary, she looked down upon him and her. One gets a little high salary, we look up to him or her. This kind of inequality is terrible in our society. This Gita teaching will be a great blessing to us in the modern age. Sarvatra samadarshinaha, one who sees equality everywhere. In the practical life, how it can be demonstrated, no? We remember one incident shared to us during our VSET class. One, we don't remember his name, Poonawala, some Wala. He's a very top officer in a big company. He had a driver. When he went to Bombay for some office matter, suddenly he gets a call that his driver passed away. Immediately he telephones that keep the body there, I am coming back. He cancelled all his preoccupation, rushed up to Pune. And from his house he took the car. This driver has been driving for 20-25 years. He took the car, decorated it, went to his place. He did not allow them to take it in any other vehicle. He took him in his own car, the body, and went to the, what is it called? Cremation? Crematorium. Crematorium.
Burial ground. Yes.
No, crematorium. And then, not burial ground, crematorium, where the body is cremated, not buried. So there, the body was cremated. When this was noted down by somebody and sent it to us through email, really we were touched. What sort of relationship he was having? No? Nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant, nobody is irrelevant. So when he says Samadarshinaha, we will immediately form some certain concepts. No. In order that we don't develop some concepts which are impractical, we try to know about this through these anecdotes, live examples. He or she is a human being, whether in possession of more money or less money. Why concern ourselves with it? That is not the main value of human being. There is the infinite Atman within each. This teaching must inspire people to make us part from caste and creed differences to true democracy in the socio-political field. A little bit of this jnana of Brahman must come to us in the socio-political field. Then our democracy will be changed and steady. So Sri Krishna uses the word divine incarnation to mean Brahman. Instead of saying he or she is Brahman in all, Krishna now puts it, he or she is me, an incarnation of God. So in the next one, if we understand this sloka, the next sloka becomes very, very clear. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati. Tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. One who sees me in all beings and sees all beings in me, such a one never becomes separated from me, nor do I become separated from him or her. When Papa keeps on harping that we are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making me to chant, this is what Papa expects all of us to reach that stage. Not merely for chanting. I am chanting the name of one who is within me, who is making me to chant. One who sees me in all beings and all beings in me, such a one never becomes separated from me, nor do I become separated from him or her. Lot of deep manana is required. Hearing will not help us much. I am chanting the name of one who is within me. So I am trying to find out where is he, where is he, where is he. Whether he is here, 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 here. Then suddenly I feel the whole body, I feel mine, no? I am not separating anything from me. Right from the small finger in my leg, in my foot, up to this head, everything is relevant, equal. Suppose you get a small cut somewhere, no? Compared to your body, it is insignificant. But you pay so much of attention, no? So when we try to close our eyes and watch, the awareness because of which spreads the whole of my body. It is the same in everybody, you know. Slowly I try to identify the common factor. This 2 words of Papa is enough to understand these slogas. I am chanting the name of one who is within me, who is making me to chant. One who sees me in all beings and all beings in me, such a one never becomes separated from me, nor do I become separated from him or her. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati. Tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. Such a one will never be separated from me, nor do I become separated from him or her. We are always one together. In these 2 shlokas, we find another uniqueness. You know? Right from the dry Vedanta, it touches and kindles the most sweetest devotional aspect. There is a combination of jnana and bhakti here. The sense of individuality becomes aware of the presence of the indwelling reality. So Bhakta and Bhagavan. No? And Bhakta realizes he has no separate existence apart from Bhagavan. And Bhagavan knows only through a Bhakta I can express. So there is a harmonious blend. The moment we say Mai, people may think it is Jnana Yoga, right? But there is a happy or harmonious combination of Bhakti and Jnana here. As an individual, if I feel I am absolute, I am always separate from everybody, I am separate even from my Lord. But when the same sense of individuality realizes that it floats on the substratum of Him, though it retains the sense of individuality, it always is in communion with Him. Kindly think about it. It's very, 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 very touching. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati. Tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. One who sees me in all beings and sees all beings in me, such a one never becomes separated from me, nor do I become separated from him or her. In the In Quest of God outpouring, Papa writes this: O Ramdas, you are in Ram and out of him. Rama. You are everywhere along with him. He is everywhere along with you. He cannot leave you, you cannot leave him. He is tied to you, you are tied to him. You are in his custody, he is in your custody. He cannot do without you, you cannot do without him. He lives in you, you live in him. Still you are his slave and he is your protector. O Ram, thou art two, thou art one. The lover and the loved in fast embrace become one. Two become one, and one remains everlasting, infinite, eternal. O love, O Ram, rave on, mine charged with the madness of Ram's love. When we were first reading, it was not very clear. How can it be that? Because we think, we are absolute. That is why we are unable to think. But during his outpouring, is manana. So that means only through manana, not by reading. This is his revelation. We are only reading his revelation. We will not get this unless we also try. He gives us the clues. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. You are everything along with him, everywhere. He is everywhere along with you. He cannot leave you. You cannot leave him. He is tied to you. You are tied to him. You are in his custody. He is in your custody. He cannot do without you. You cannot do without him. He lives in you. You live in him. Still, you are his slave and he is your protector. O Ram, thou art two, but thou art one. Everyone can close their eyes for a minute or two and try this, He is tied to me, I am tied to him. He is in my custody, I am in his custody. He cannot do with me, I cannot do with him.
He cannot do without me, I cannot do without him.
Think. Think. I am in him, he is in me. So there is a Bhakta and Bhagavan relationship. So these two slokas are very, 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 very charging. And let us see what is the next. Sarvabhuta sthitam yomam bhajatyekatva mastita sarvatha vartamanopi sa yogi mayi vartate. One who being established in unity, worship me, who am dwelling in all beings, whatever his or her mode of life, that yogi abides in me. Sarva bhuta sthitam yomam bhajati. One who worships me, who is still in all beings. Sri Krishna exists in all beings like a thread that runs through all the pearls in a garland, uniting all the pearls into one garland. As he says elsewhere in the Gita, similarly the Lord exists in all of us as the central thread of being. Bhajati ekatvam astitaha. Worship me being established in unity. Sarvadha vartamanopi sa yogi mayi vartate. Whatever may be his or her way of life, he or she always lives in me. Wherever I am, whatever I am engaged in, he doesn't leave me. Wherever I am, whatever I am engaged in, he doesn't stipulate any precondition for his being in me. One may be selling various things, or maybe making shoes, or baking stones on the roadside, or sitting in the chair of an administrator, whatever may be his or her mode of life. Such a person always lives in me. That is the language. What a beautiful idea. We can see the best devotees in the most unusual places. We have seen in our religious history that an ordinary shoemaker has realized the divine. A simple housewife has realized the divine. Her status in society is very ordinary, but spirituality, it is very high. So this can happen to everyone. Whatever be your station in society or the nature of your work in society, you are always living in the Lord Himself in this particular achievement. Sa yogi mayi vartate, that yogi lives in me all the time. This also lifts so many other obsession in our life. Who I should become, if I have to realize Him, if I have to know Him, I must observe this, I must do that, I must do this. No. All that is needed is only to remember Him. Wherever I am, whatever I am engaged in, He is with me. He is with me. In our language, we can say He is with me in the form of life force. He is with me in the form of awareness. He is with me in the form of primordial intelligence. And He gave me this sense of individuality to express Himself through me. Every thought, every word, every deed, He is prompting me to bring it out to express His presence. Because thought, word, and deed are the expression of life. This sloka is also very important. One may be selling various things, or maybe making shoes, or breaking stones on the roadside, or sitting in the chair of an administrator, whatever may be his or her mode of life. Such a person always lives in me. That is the language. What a beautiful idea. We can see the best devotees in the most unusual places.
Ekatva buddhi.
Huh?
Ekatva buddhi.
No, we have to go back to our own life, the life we lived so far, so that we will know, yeah, we must have met so many people who have this equal vision. At home, in the office, with friends. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. If I develop this, spirituality is expressing through me. It not only applies to individual, it applies to everything that I come across. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. We all know we are blessed, to get the sweetness from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the instrumental cause, for us to. So it touches and kindles. It makes us to go back to our own life. And then when we relive those moments, we find the meaning, real meaning of this sloka. We remember our Madras days when the manager comes, in his room, the person who is attender, he will be cleaning, keeping the dust free on his table, tray, everywhere. Suppose the manager comes, he will wait outside. Immediately this man will be hurrying it. He said, don't worry, take it. Not a word, but the very look, the body language will convey that he sees him as important person. He may be sitting in a chair and managing the whole company, but he recognizes the relevance of each and everyone in their own place. So such incidents will come back to us when we read this. We still remember him. At that time we did not know. Sarvatra Samadarshina, we did not know that. The moment we read Bhagavad Gita, we always have some other concept. That is why nowadays we are requesting everybody, don't just quote the sloka. Relate it to the day-to-day life. This is what Gita I wants us to do. When it is told to us that it is addressed to the man on the field, to the working class, not to a person who is sitting in the caves, to a householder, to a professional, to a social being. So how do we do that? When we read a sloka, when we try to understand the language, the meaning, we understand the textual meaning. That will not help us. God must have already given to us this experience and we were unable to connect it to spirituality. At that time, we were connecting between individuals and individuals outside. That means the individualism is still becomes stronger. That is not what is expected of us. At that time, we did not know. So when we meet a spiritual preceptor, Guru, when he says all these values, with the help of Shastras, we try to understand this. That is why a very sloka when we go through, it would be better to pause for a while and then connect ourselves with our own life. Then it becomes clear to us. God has already made a dent in our mind. But at that time, our reverence was limited to that individual. But later on, when the Guru says, when he quotes this, oh, that is why he was in a position to do it. This particular word is very, very, so many instances come up before our mind. One may be selling various things or maybe making shoes or breaking stones on the roadside or sitting in a chair of an administrator, whatever may be his or her mode of life, such a person always lives in me. That is the language. What a beautiful idea. We can see the best devotees in the most unusual places. We have seen in our religious history that an ordinary shoemaker has realized the divine, a simple housewife has realized the divine. Her status in society is very ordinary, but spiritually it is very high. So this can happen to anyone, everyone. Whatever may be your station in society or the nature of your work in society, you are always living in the Lord Himself in this particular achievement. Sa yogi mayi vartade, that yogi lives in me all the time. आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति योर्जन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमोते परमो मतः. One who judges pleasure or pain everywhere by the same standard as one applies to oneself, that yogi, O Arjuna, is regarded as the highest. Upamam. Atmau upamapayena. Upamayena. As you feel about yourself, so feel about others also. So what is painful to you, you want to avoid. Therefore, don't inflict pain on others. As you feel for yourself, feel for others. That is the universal maxim found in the Bible, Chinese thought, Indian thought, everywhere. Whatever is not pleasant for you, to you, don't inflict it on another. That is the language. So, Atma Upamena. See others as yourself. Sarvatra samam pashyati, O Arjuna. One who sees with the sense of equality everywhere. Sukham va yad va dukham. Whether it is happiness or sorrow. If something gives you sorrow, see that the sorrow is not inflicted on somebody else. That attitude must be there. Sa yogi, paramo mataha. That yogi is considered to be supreme. He or she has realized oneness with all. See the way in which he is unfolding, What a tremendous change will come in our society when a bit of this teaching gets into our mind and heart. We do so much evil to others, not knowing that if that evil were to come to us, we would have become really miserable. We don't know how to feel for others. That feeling of oneness is not there. That is the greatest evil that has been afflicting our society for centuries together. Swami Vivekananda said that many of our people do not have a feeling heart. There is the intellect, the brain is there, the heart is not there. Concern for others is not there. That is why we have brought our society to the lowest level. Now our society must have a revolutionary change. And Vedanta gives you the way to get that inner change in yourself, by which this Samadarshi will come to you. Then society will become really a heaven. It will be happiness to live in such a society. A Satya Yuga, golden age, can come in this world when people will understand this truth and practice even a little bit of it. Great teachers come for that purpose only. Sri Ramakrishna came in our time. What an extraordinary personality was he, suffused with the spirit of oneness. Swami Vivekananda, Sharada Devi, every one of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna had the spirit of oneness. We are all one. That is why that Muslim revolutionary poet of Bengal, Kasi Nasrul Islam, when he wrote about Sri Ramakrishna, added this line: Hey Tapas, you brought the memory of Satya Yuga in this Kali Yuga. Sri Ramakrishna has brought the memory of Satya Yuga. It is for us to assimilate this teaching and establish the Satya Yuga in society. That is our responsibility. He has shown us the way. He has given us the inspiration. That is the great contribution of Sri Ramakrishna. So here Sri Krishna speaks of Samadarshi Savatva. Very difficult, but we have to achieve it. We have to give up. We have to give up our medieval heritage where everything was hierarchical. The king or aristocrat was there, enjoy nicely, having happiness all the time, surrounded by millions of people, living in destitution and sorrow. That was our India. Even today, in many cases, it is so. So many people working very hard so that a few handful may live comfortably and happily. That will have to change thoroughly. That is the attitude of the Gita. That is the attitude the Gita wants to develop in us and all people all over the world. So from this slogan, what strikes to us is, our scientific and technological advancement is something spectacular, super. The standard of living compared to 40 years back, 50 years back, and now, inconceivable. So the brain, the head, the growth or development of the head is something super. But each one of us have to understand that along with it, the heart also should expand. No? Of course, we don't say that the heart is not working. We have found, if we watch from 1950s onwards, that is also equally working. After coming to ashram, we came to know how many people in different areas are doing silent yeoman service without telling that they are serving. Inconceivable heights. So that is why we, whenever we go out, when we go to such institutions, they don't need anything. Of course, material support will also be there. But what they are looking for is the moral support. What a tremendous challenge will be there when you take up, looking after the mentally handicapped children, special children, physically handicapped children, deaf and dumb, blind, spine injured people who are lying down throughout. Like that, so many, destitute, orphans. But today, because thanks to the science and technology, so many people come to know about the sufferings of so many through social media, and each one in their own way make a correction and go and give to you silently. This won't appear in any paper. So everywhere this is simultaneously coming. It may not be explicit when Swami Ranganathanji wrote this commentary. Nowadays we are seeing it. Plenty of instances. So that is what is here pointed out. That is, the compassion comes because of, I feel whatever suffering others have, that is my suffering. I may not be able to fulfill all, but at least 1 out of 100 I can take. Mataji, right from the day one of this ashram, has been demonstrating before us. Otherwise, it's only a tall talk. By their grace, even today, those activities are going on silently. Many, many years ago, must be in early 90s, on those days, Puja Swamiji will go for evening walk. We all go with him. At that time, the sadhus were staying inside, present Gokul, near Vrindavan. So naturally, they are coming from different places, different habits. There will be always some quarrel, something will be there. So on that particular day, when Swamiji and a few devotees, we were all walking, somebody immediately said, today we can have a peaceful evening in ashram. So somebody asked why there are no sadhus. Swamiji immediately, spontaneously, I was there, spontaneously turned, what for we are sitting here? And everybody felt, oh. We are sitting here to serve them, who may not be of our standard in habits. But that is the tradition of this ashram. They will be roaming about, they come here for 1 or 2 or 3 days, they stay, they will have their bath, they will wash their clothes, they will dry up, they will eat, and at the time of leaving, they will ask something which, if we can possible, this is the tradition, because they have no home of their own. And Mataji on those days, which is still going on, they will be first fed. Before devotees go for food, they will be given the food first. So when we are reading these slokas, if we can try to bring all these in our mind, we are really trying to understand the meaning of the sloka, not the textual meaning, literal meaning, no. That will not help us. But if we try to connect up such incidents, live incidents, which had left a deep dent in our mind, then we are really trying to understand. So this now he is providing an opportunity for us to go through these slogas so that all these things which he provided earlier, it becomes very, very clear to us. If not, the chanting becomes superficial. So every moment we try to connect up, you know. We need not bother about covering the portion. For the sake of discipline, we may say we would like to complete 6th chapter, 4th chapter. Okay, if that is not there, we will not have, but that is not important. What is important is to imbibe the sublime teachings contained in that sloka in the way in which we can understand, not in the way in which it is printed. We can understand it through the experiences God gave us. He made us to observe or He made us to experience. Then each and everything becomes clear. Because these are all subtle, you know. The samatha drishti is the sense of equality. And regarding this, Arjuna will ask a question in the next sloka. It is a wonderful idea. The samadrishti you have put in so nicely, but I find it very difficult to practice. Mind I see can never be in samatva. It always moves up and down. It always wandering. How can I control this mind? So that question will take us to the next. Arjuna's question is on our behalf, on behalf of millions of people, because it is everybody's problem. So Krishna handles this important subject from the next verse onwards. That we will take it up tomorrow. So what has been covered now? 3 or 4 important points. What are they? Any one point?
Madam, I study Samatva.
As Papa says, Swamiji,
Eh?
we must go to the origin of giver and the world, as Papa says. As in Sloka 29. Sarvabhutastam Atmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani. Tikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha.
If we go to the origin, that will help us. So he touches and kindles. Closing our books, we try to go back, where from we have come. Slowly that inquiry, that journey will make us to leave such of the hurdles, you know, which always puts me in the me and mine. That is one of the ways. That's why Papa said that, go to your origin. Because we are trying to find out Him. How do we find out Him? If we keep on saying He is there, He is there, He is there, no. So going to the roots, the first cause. And the same Bhagavad Gita, he says in 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 times, I am the source, I am the source, I am the source, I am the source. So I am the Sarva Bhutam. Yeah. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. not only me. So to understand this, then I know that we are all children of the same parent. Then only the Samadarshitva will come, Nowadays, of course, there are only one child, so they may not be able to understand this. In our times, every house will have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 children. So when the elder son will be arranging everything for their food, Mother will be cooking. So all the plates, all the, what you call palaga or mat, that will be kept. And then vessels, spoons, and it will be shared. The first lesson comes from our own home. We will not go and straight away eat and go. So when we know that the source is, we are all children of the parents, we love everybody at least until our sense of individuality becomes strong. When our sense of individuality becomes strong, the same attitude towards our brothers, sisters, even parents get diluted unknowingly. Because the me and mine is slowly asserting, So any other point?
Revelation is very important. Revelation, we must.
Revelation is
Manana will lead to revelation.
ஆனால் நிறைய ஸ்லிப் ஆகிறோம் சுவாமிஜி.
பைக்கிடும் பரவாயில்லை, அது பரவாயில்லை. At least we know we have come to, God has blessed us to know that we have slipped, Then only we will be able to correct ourselves. We are slipping because all these years we have a notion about me and mine. To get out of this, it's not that easy. So we are, at least we are grateful to Him because He has made us aware that we have failed, so that we can try to avoid the failure. I think that is enough today. Think about it. Tomorrow we'll continue. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Prasanna. Good of them.
We are ruling.
Sir,